Hey, quick question for you. Do you know the difference between inside out and right side out? What about comfy, or to get in the habit of something, or to look back fondly on something? If you are not sure about any of these, stay with me, because today we are talking about something every single person does every week. Something completely ordinary, something most people never think about describing in English. We are talking about doing the laundry. And yes, I know, laundry. It is not exactly the most exciting topic in the world. But here's the thing. The expressions and vocabulary that come up during laundry day, they are incredibly useful, not just for talking about laundry, for talking about life. Because real English is not just for exciting moments. Real English is for the ordinary ones. The Tuesday afternoon ones, the pile of clothes on the sofa ones, the where did all these socks come from ones. I am Emma, and welcome to Real Life English, the podcast, your cozy place to learn real English through real daily life conversations. This episode is perfect for B1 and B2 learners, but honestly, if you have ever looked at a pile of laundry and sighed deeply, this episode is for you. And here is your comment homework for today. I want you to tell me, who does the laundry in your house? Is it you? Someone else? Do you share the job? Write it in English. Just one sentence. I read every single comment. Now, let us start with something very simple. Something that happens almost every time I do the laundry. I pull a shirt out of the machine. And it is inside out. Our first expression is inside out. Inside out means the inside of something is facing outward. The part that is supposed to be hidden is showing. The part that is supposed to be visible is facing inward. You have probably experienced this. You are getting dressed in the morning, and you put on your shirt, and you look down and realize the seams are on the outside. The label is showing. Your shirt is inside out. This is a fixed phrase. It always sounds exactly this way. Inside out. You will never hear it said differently. So it is a great one to memorize exactly as it is. The opposite is right side out. Right side out means the correct way, the way it is supposed to be. The outside is facing outward. So when your shirt is inside out, you have to turn it right side out. You flip it. You fix it. You turn it right side out. For example, before I fold the laundry, I always check if anything is inside out. Because putting a shirt away inside out and then having to fix it when you want to wear it is a small but genuinely annoying experience. Small laundry problems. The source of so much of life's quiet frustration. Our second expression is comfy. Comfy is simply a shorter, more casual way of saying comfortable. And in everyday English, we use comfy constantly. It sounds warmer, more casual, more like something a real person says in a real conversation. This sweater is so comfy. I wear it almost every day. These are the most comfy socks I have ever owned. You can say comfortable in the same sentences, and it is perfectly correct. But comfy sounds more natural in everyday speech, more relaxed, more human. And anything can be comfy. Clothes, a chair, a bed, even a house. What a comfy house you have, meaning it is cozy and comfortable and feels good to be in. I want to ask you something. What is the comfiest thing you own? The most comfortable piece of clothing, the most comfortable chair, anything. Think about it, because I guarantee you have something. We all have that one incredibly comfy thing we go back to again and again. Our third expression is to clean up a mess. To clean up a mess means to tidy and remove something that has been spilled or scattered. Something has gone wrong. Something is dirty or disordered. And now you need to clean up the mess. I use this expression probably 10 times a day because life is full of small messes. Spilled coffee, clean up the mess. Scattered papers, clean up the mess. Laundry all over the floor, clean up the mess. And here is a slightly more advanced use of this expression. You can use it figuratively too. Figuratively means not literally, but in a more abstract or emotional sense. For example, after a difficult argument with someone, you might need to clean up the mess. Not a physical mess, an emotional one. The hurt feelings, the misunderstandings, the things that were said. You need to clean up that mess too. Clean up a mess. 2 simple words together, but very useful in many different situations. Our 4th expression is to be in charge of something. To be in charge of something means it is your responsibility. It is your job. You are the person who handles this thing. In my house, different people are in charge of different tasks. One person is in charge of the dishes. Someone else is in charge of the laundry. Someone else is in charge of taking out the rubbish. Being in charge of something does not mean you always want to do it. It just means it is your responsibility, your job, your area. And here is something interesting about this expression. You can use it in almost any context, not just household chores. At work, she is in charge of the marketing team. At school, he was in charge of organizing the event. In a family, the oldest child was suddenly in charge of dinner. In charge of. A very versatile expression, very useful. And I want to know, in your house, what are you in charge of? What is your job? Tell me in the comments. I am genuinely curious about how different households divide the work. Our 5th expression is to get in the habit of doing something. To get in the habit of something means to build a routine, to start doing something regularly until it becomes automatic. Until it happens without thinking. I want to get in the habit of folding laundry immediately when it comes out of the machine, instead of leaving it in a pile on the sofa for 3 days. The pile on the sofa. You know the pile. We all know the pile. The clean laundry that lives on the sofa for way too long. A symbol of good intentions and delayed action. But getting in the habit means starting small, doing the thing once, then again, until one day you realize you just do it automatically. You do not even think about it. You are in the habit. Notice the grammar here. To get in the habit of is always followed by a verb with ing. Get in the habit of folding. Get in the habit of exercising. Get in the habit of reading. Always ing at the end. Get in the habit of, followed by verb plus ing. Important grammar point inside a useful expression. Our 6th expression is to look back fondly on something. This is a beautiful expression, a little nostalgic, a little warm and bittersweet. To look back fondly on something means to remember it with happiness and warmth, even if it was difficult at the time, even if it was not perfect. With the distance of time, you look back at it fondly. For example, right now, doing laundry every week can feel like a chore, something that just has to be done. But someday, many years from now, I might look back fondly on these ordinary domestic days, the small routines, the pile on the sofa, the smell of clean clothes. Fondly means with warm affection, with a kind of gentle happiness, not just thinking about the past, but thinking about it with fondness. We often look back fondly on difficult periods in life because time changes how things feel. What felt hard at the time can feel precious later. Is there a period of your life that you look back on fondly now, even if it was hard when you were living it? Think about that. Our seventh expression is ideally. Ideally is one of my favorite words because it is so honest. It says, in a perfect world, in my dream scenario, this is what I would love to happen. But I also know that life does not always cooperate. Ideally, I would fold all my laundry immediately. Ideally. In a perfect world, in my best and most organized version of life. But realistically, sometimes the pile on the sofa happens. You can use ideally in any situation where you are describing what you would like to happen if everything went perfectly. Ideally, I would exercise every morning. Ideally, I would cook fresh food every day. Ideally, I would be in bed by 10 p.m. And the honest admission that this does not always happen, that is what makes ideally so human, so real. Our eighth expression is to do chores. Chores are those regular necessary tasks that keep your life running, the ones that are not exactly fun. But if you do not do them, life gets messy and difficult very quickly. Laundry is a chore. Washing the dishes is a chore. Vacuuming the floor is a chore. Taking out the rubbish is a chore. We all have chores. And most of us have a complicated relationship with them. We know we need to do them. We know we will feel better when they are done. And yet, there is always something more interesting to do instead. Some reason to put them off a little longer. To do chores. To get the chores done. To finish your chores. These are all natural ways to use this word. And here is a small but important cultural note. The word chores is very commonly used in American English for these kinds of household tasks. In British English, people might say household tasks or just the cleaning or the washing up, but chores is widely understood everywhere. Our ninth expression is to throw something in. To throw something in means to place something into a larger container or machine in a casual, unfussy way. Not carefully, not precisely, just throw it in. I just throw my clothes in the washing machine. I do not sort them perfectly by color. I do not check every label. I just throw them in and hope for the best. Now, some people will tell you this is the wrong approach. And they are probably right. Ideally, I would separate the whites from the colors. Ideally. But sometimes you just throw everything in and go. Throw it in is a phrasal verb. And notice that you can always split it with the object. Throw it in. Throw them in. Throw the clothes in. The object goes in the middle. This phrasal verb is useful beyond laundry too. Throw it in the bag. Throw it in the bin. Throw it in the back seat. Always that casual, quick, unfussy movement. And our 10th expression is wash by hand. To wash something by hand means to clean it manually, without a machine. Using your own hands, water, and soap. Some things need to be washed by hand. Delicate fabrics, special clothing, things with labels that say do not put in the washing machine, you have to wash them by hand. And this is one of those chores that sounds simple, but is actually harder than it looks. Because washing something properly by hand takes time and effort. It is not just a quick rinse. You need to be careful, gentle, thorough. Thorough means doing something completely and carefully, not missing anything. Things that need to be washed by hand, they require more attention, more care. And for some people, that extra care becomes almost meditative. Meditative means having a calm, focused, almost peaceful quality, doing a simple task slowly and with full attention. Do you have anything you always wash by hand? Something special you take extra care of? Tell me. All right, word tour time. Let us walk through all 10 expressions together, nice and slow. Expression 1, inside out, means the inside is facing outward, the wrong way around. For example, I put my jumper on inside out this morning and did not notice until I arrived at work. Or, always check that your clothes are not inside out before you fold them. Did you catch that one? Expression 2, comfy, a casual, warm version of the word comfortable. For example, these are the comfiest pajamas I have ever owned. I never want to take them off. Or, she changed into something comfy as soon as she got home from work. Did you hear that one? Expression 3, to clean up a mess, means to tidy and remove something that is spilled, scattered, or disordered. For example, he spilled his coffee and spent 10 minutes cleaning up the mess. Or, after the argument, they both needed some time before they could clean up the emotional mess. Did you catch that one? Expression 4. To be in charge of means to be responsible for something, to be the person who handles it. For example, she is in charge of making sure all the laundry gets done before the weekend. Or, at his new job, he was in charge of training all the new employees. Did you hear that one? Expression 5. To get in the habit of means to build a routine by doing something regularly until it becomes automatic, always followed by verb plus ing. For example, I am trying to get in the habit of folding laundry the same day I wash it. Or, she got in the habit of going for a walk every morning and now she cannot start the day without it. Did you catch that one? Expression 6. To look back fondly on something means to remember something with warmth and affection, even if it was difficult at the time. For example, she looked back fondly on those early years in her first apartment, even though everything was small and nothing worked properly. Or, someday I will look back fondly on these busy, messy, ordinary days. Did you hear that one? Expression 7. Ideally, means in a perfect world, in the best possible scenario. For example, ideally I would do a small load of laundry every 2 days instead of one giant load once a week. Or, ideally she would finish work at 5 p.m. every day, but in reality it is usually closer to 7. Did you catch that one? Expression 8. To do chores means to complete regular household tasks that keep life running. For example, she spends Sunday mornings doing chores so that the rest of the week feels more manageable. Or getting children involved in doing chores teaches them responsibility and practical skills. Did you hear that one? Expression 9. To throw something in means to place something into a container or machine in a casual, quick, unfussy way. For example, I just throw everything in the washing machine together. I know I should separate them, but I never do. Or, she threw the last few ingredients in the pot and hoped for the best. Did you catch that one? Expression 10. To wash by hand means to clean something manually without a machine. For example, this blouse is delicate, so I always wash it by hand to make sure it lasts. Or, some people find washing dishes by hand more satisfying than using a dishwasher. Did you hear that one? Before we finish today, here is your practical framework. 5 sentence starters to describe your own laundry routine in English. Starter 1. In my house, I am in charge of, for example, in my house, I am in charge of all the laundry. My partner is in charge of the dishes. It is a fair deal, I think. Starter 2. I am trying to get in the habit of, for example, I am trying to get in the habit of folding clothes immediately instead of leaving them in a pile. I have been trying for approximately 3 years. Starter 3. Ideally, I would wash a small amount of laundry every few days. In reality, I wait until I have absolutely nothing left to wear. Starter 4. The thing I always throw in without thinking is, for example, the thing I always throw in without thinking is everything together. Colors, whites, delicates, all in one machine. Starter 5. One chore I actually do not mind is, for example, one chore I actually do not mind is folding laundry. I find it almost relaxing, especially with something good to listen to. Try one of these right now, out loud, in English. Your real answer, your real routine, because the goal is not to practice invented scenarios. The goal is to describe your actual life in English. And your actual life, your actual Tuesday afternoon laundry pile, that is enough. That is perfect practice material. We have reached the end. And I want to say one thing. Laundry is boring. I will not pretend it is not. Sorting, washing, drying, folding, putting away, it is not exactly the highlight of anyone's week. But what is not boring is the English inside it. Inside out, comfy, in charge of, get in the habit of, look back fondly, ideally, do chores, throw it in, wash by hand, clean up a mess. These are real expressions, natural expressions, the kind that native speakers use constantly. Not just for laundry, for life. Use them this week. In a sentence, in a comment, in your head while you are actually doing your laundry. Because the best time to practice English is in the middle of your real ordinary life. Not in a classroom, not in a test, right there. With the pile of clothes and the washing machine and the socks that never find their match. Your comment homework. Tell me one thing. Who does the laundry in your house? Is it you? Someone else? Do you share? One honest sentence in English. I read every single comment. And if today's episode helped you, share it with one person, just one. Someone who wants to learn real English for real life. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I am Emma, and I will see you in the very next episode. Bye!